Welcome back.
First of all, let me seize this opportunity to thank you guys. I've been actually listening to all that has been happening since 5 to 6 p.m. our Nigerian time. I'm quite impressed. But it's almost midnight here, so I will just take a few minutes. Ono, I salute you. What I'm going to say, Ono could have said, or Amadi Ebube Mbamara could have said. The Alaigbo Stabilisation Fund, boom, for lack of a better name, a committee that was set up by the Southeast governors and Ohaneze over a year ago to draw up a plan on how we can begin to recreate the economy of Igbo. And Igbo has 7 states, 5 in the Southeast and 2 in the somebody's this thing is still on the screen, and I'm wondering whether you guys are still hearing me because I can't see my. Yeah, okay.
Go ahead. I'm hearing. We're hearing.
So we are actually 7 states, including Rivers and Delta, and so they set up this 54-man committee, and many of them are in the diaspora, including Dr. Nakwenze, including Professor Jofo, World Igbo Congress, in Europe, in America, in Canada, all over, including parts of Africa. Distinguished men and women. I happen to be their chair. And we've worked tirelessly for the past 1 year. We actually submitted our report to the Imobi Ohaneze, where the governors were also represented. And we thought our work was done, but they then transformed us into an implementation committee because Hasina, those who visioned should go and implement. And so we are now Alaigbo Stabilization Fund Implementation Committee. Basically, what have we done? We looked at Ndiigbo and Alaigbo and decided that we were going to deal with both the land and the people. And we need to recreate the land, and we need to also basically not recreate the people, but put structures in place that will support our people to be better people and people with greater focus and people with a better future. So after all the debate and discussions, because you have to understand the basic philosophy behind this work. One, when they cry for marginalization and last to go for too long. 50 years after the war, we should really be saying, what have we done for ourselves? And we took cue from nations like Japan, where the bombing of the Nagasaki and Hiroshima recreated Japan. So people who surrendered found a means to recreate their country, their nation. We took cue from Barcelona. The Catalonians are still agitating even that they want to be separate from Spain. But Barcelona is the best part of Spain. We took cue from Israel. India, Meburu, and Achugari all over the place. How they recreated the state of Israel. We are taking cue from even next door neighbor, Rwanda, after the genocide, how they are recreating their place. So we asked ourselves, time has come for our people to come in and say, listen, how do we recreate Alaigbo? Rather than keep crying of marginalization and so on. Yes, we must demand that which is our due from the Federation. But in the meantime, can we not make our place a Barcelona of Spain? So we said, Ndiigbo are entrepreneurs. So they will like, we must have an institution make money that can also recreate our people and support the less privileged, and look at our institutions like health and education. Because no guardrail, I can't go into the details. Yes. But these two institutions are related. So what we did was, we now created an Alaigbo investment company and Ndiigbo Development Foundation. These two institutions are actually, as I speak, legal entities registered. The AIC, the Alaigbo Investment Company, will do regional infrastructure. You imagine a rail line from Asaba to Port Harcourt. You imagine that the airports are being concessioned and are the ones who will take over. You imagine that a seaport might be feasible if these institutions exist. Begin to dream and imagine what an Alaigbo investment company can do when all Igbos subscribe to this institution by buying shares and making it an institution of our own. There's no other way that MI Okara and Co did it. They also had institutions, they had banks, and so on. Eastern Nigeria Development Corporation. Then the Ndiigbo Development Foundation will be the philanthropic arm where our people with as low as 1,000 naira can become a member. And rather than individuals doing what we normally do in our communities, we can now pull resources together and begin to do the things we always do, including looking at the Igbo apprenticeship system. How do we rejuvenate it? Because it's actually almost dying because of mistrust, including value reorientation, including having a minimum standard for education and the infrastructure of that education, including looking after our elderly. So the Development Foundation will be social in its orientation. The Alaigbo Investment Company will be commercial in its orientation. So these two institutions will work side by side in improving the welfare of our people. So this is why we are. And if we didn't have COVID, we would have been traveling around the US to explain some of these things. Because eventually my committee, our committee, will finish their work soon. People will be recruited to run this. One of the things we've told ourselves is that we are deliberate in internationalizing the institutions, meaning only the best people will be selected to run them. And it's going to be international competitiveness. And we recognize, even in our thinking, in our concept, orientation, that the diaspora is extremely important if we're going to achieve success in this.
That's right. And
like I said, some of the members that are even listening to me can give you more details. Diaspora will be extremely important in driving the two institutions that we have created, in making them come to life, and even in the activities that are going to be pursued going forward. So I thought I should just give you a tip of what it is, hoping that there will be better opportunity. We will explain better. The governance structure is such that these institutions deliberately are going to be owned by Igbos. And we are also deliberate in minimizing the influence of the government. Very deliberate. By the way, we have worked for 1 year and 6 months, and we have not received even 1 naira from anyone. Our members are donating, contributing in driving what we are doing. We've never received 1 cent from any government or from any institution. It's just us volunteers working in the interest of Igbo land. So I want the opportunity, hoping that we'll have more opportune time where we can explain better some of the things that are emerging from what we're doing. Thank you very much.